Hi, how you going? So we've reached the point where camera improvements are only really incremental, and these increments are getting smaller and smaller. The cameras I own and use regularly are quite a few models behind and several years old at best, but they still mostly do everything I need of them. I don't need to upgrade. I don't need the newest and best and brightest, but there's still a part of me that wants more. I know this want for more cameras is a product of the consumeristic society in which we live, and also a lack of willpower on my part. But despite knowing all of this, it's still there. I thought about how much fun I had playing with my old camera from 20 years ago and wanted to do that more. But the recording to actual physical tape and then the hassle of capturing the footage on the computer it's an annoying process. So I jumped on Facebook Marketplace, and after a while of searching, I managed to snag this. For a small investment, I have a new toy to play with, something to regain the spark of filming for me. I haven't actually been filming much recently, so this may actually help. I do need to remove this though. The ad didn't say whether it still worked, and I didn't ask. It looked in pretty good condition, so I just went for it. I handed over my money, they handed the camera over, I turned it on, and it works. The seller had charged it up for me and included a 16 gig card. It's ready to go, but I ordered a few batteries and a charger as well. I love the form factor, the tiny camcorder shape fitting in the hand. It takes me back to filming with my first few video cameras, when people were not used to having cameras around, when there was still a novelty in the camera being there, when the little machine and people's reaction to it was part of the scene rather than simply capturing it from the outside. Memories of get-togethers, parties, random nights and special events, of shaky footage where the quality didn't matter because we were still amazed that we could record onto something that we could hold in our hand. Videos captured of friends who were annoyed at the camera in their face, who now love the fact that their younger selves were documented before the years, the back pain and the grey hair took hold. I've heard these referred to as dad cams, and I like that. This one's far from new. It was released in 2014, over 10 years ago. It shoots in full HD, has 38 times optical and 75 digital zoom, though I've found digital zoom to be unusable in the past, so I've turned that off. But 38 optical is kind of amazing, much more than the capabilities of my other cameras. I may need to put it on a tripod though if I'm going to use the full extent of the zoom. You open the screen and it turns on. The shutter cover is manual, but it has a satisfying click to the mechanism. It's just over 200 grams with the battery in. That's nothing. It feels light, but not the cheap plasticky light of those new cheap landfill cameras. This light has a comfort to it, sitting tucked in my hand, ready to capture some footage with the nostalgic filter built in. It's not a filter as such, just the look and feel of the captured footage bringing to the front of the mind echoes of memories from years ago. The slight interlacing of the footage when zooming too fast, the colour fringing, the shakiness. It's got stabilisation built in, but there's still definitely a shakiness in the footage, especially when handheld. Maybe it's just my hand, but regardless, the shake adds something to the footage. With the perfect stabilisation of modern cameras and phones, it's easy to forget that the footage was shot by a person just wanting to capture the scene unfolding in front of them and not intending on shooting a masterpiece. Here, the basicness and the amateurishness of the footage is kind of the point. I think most of all, this is fun. I'm really enjoying filming with it. It's become the camera I first reach for when I'm heading out somewhere. There's a novelty in the form factor, in the camera itself. The camera has become a feature in how I film again. Playing with the camera and figuring out its quirks has become part of the process. And as I said, it's just fun, which is what filming should be. It has some special scenes, a miniature effect, kind of tilt shift look. There's 8mm and silent movie functions. I might have to play with those at some point. And there is a fun time-lapse mode. I do love a time-lapse. Apart from the time-lapse, these scenes are probably a waste of time and could probably be done better in post. But there's something new, something to play with, something to explore, something fun, something to get me out and get my camera out again. So because of its age, it doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi, which is a feature that I use a lot on my other cameras. But I have this old memory card which has a Wi-Fi module in it. It's quite a cool thing from a decade or so ago. I open the app on my phone, connect to the card's inbuilt Wi-Fi, and can download the footage onto the phone just from there, from the card itself. It was quite revolutionary at the time, but now it's unnecessary because all cameras have Wi-Fi built into them. The mic quality is okay for the normal sound.
Oh, g'day mate.
There you go.
It's good, always good to see you. Nicest guy in disc golf.
And there is no external mic input to give it something better. The sound I found useless at concerts. But it's good to know, and I'll take a better camera if I want to film concerts from going forward. This is not a flashy camera, far from it. When it was released a decade ago, it was the most basic of the 4 new cameras they released that year. The other cameras got write-ups in the press release, and this one was just a model number at the bottom of the article. There was no fanfare, it was just there, and now it's here in my hand, filming my life. The whole thing is probably a gimmick, but I like gimmicks, I like new toys, and I like filming stuff. This is exactly what I wanted, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and will continue to do so. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you just want to stop in and say hi. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh my God, I love this little thing. It's so much smaller than I thought it would be, which is a good thing. Like, it's pocketable. It's a really cool little thing.